Welcome to another episode of Cable Chatter. Thanks for tuning in whenever you're connecting and whenever you see us. It's good to be here. It's good to be back. I'm Blake Clevenger, and I have some community announcements. Coming up Thursday through Saturday, August 5th, 6th, and 7th, and when you're seeing this, this will probably be tomorrow, is State Line Heritage Days Festival in Union City. We had them on a couple last session. There's a lot of neat stuff going on in town. I really encourage you guys to come up, take a look, get some fair food, ride some rides, and really enjoy what's going on. Tuesday, August 10th is the first student day for Randolph Southern. Wednesday, August 11th is the first student day for Randolph Eastern, Central, and Monroe Central. And on Saturday, August 14th is the Hip Sips Music Festival in Artisan Park. All proceeds go to the Cancer Services for Randolph County, and that is occurring from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. On Wednesday, August 18th, there's a free movie at the Town Square Cinema for seniors from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. At the moment, that's about all the announcements I have. I know my guest might have a couple little things to add to what's going to be going on in Randolph County and the surrounding area. But again, if this is your first time tuning in, this is Cable Chatter, and I'm here kind of standing on the shoulders of giants, Rick Clear, John Schmidt, and Nick Poling. And I'm kind of just filling in at the moment. My grandmother told me that she didn't know what was going on around here in Randolph County. And so I said, I think we had a show one time that talked about that. And so here I am, and I'm going to try and provide some information. Today with me, we have Ceann Bales from Randolph County United. We had Randolph County United on a few sessions ago, but there's new stuff that's happening in Randolph County and new information. And she's been doing a lot around the county, and I wanted to make sure she had the opportunity to introduce herself and talk about all this stuff that she gets to do. So, Ceann, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Randolph County. I went to Randolph Southern, graduated at Randolph Southern, and then went off to Purdue and swore I would never come back to Randolph County. But I did, and I'm thankful for it. And came home, and after I graduated from Purdue, and married my husband Brian, who's a graduate of Union High School, and he farms. And so when I said yes to him, I said yes to Randolph County, and it's the best decision, the best yes I ever made. So I'm happy with that. We live in between Lynn and Modoc on a farm, family farm of his, and we have two children. Our daughter Mackenzie is off and married, believe it or not, and she's a graduate of Purdue, first year vet school down in Lincoln Memorial in Tennessee, and she wants to come home, and so we're hopeful she'll come home and be a vet here. And then our son Braxton will be a senior in high school, so we'll be empty nesters soon. And he is very involved in music, wants to be a band teacher.
Excellent.
And so he is currently at Winchester High School, very, very involved in their music programs.
That's an excellent music program, so I'm sure he's getting a good education there. And so with the senior in high school, there's a lot going on this year, and we're going to lay that on top of everything that we're going to talk about and all your responsibilities, because the Randolph County United is a bit, it's still pretty new. That's a bit of a new title. You're still getting logos and letterhead out.
Yes,
so
we are.
Tell us a little bit about Randolph County United.
It's funny you said we're just now getting to the branding part, right? And so we were at the 4-H fair, and so we're like, do we have tablecloths? Do we have banners? And so that's the fun thing. We're starting to get shirts that are branded with the new logo. But no, just January 1st is when Randolph County United was kind of officially born, and our tagline then is an economic development chamber and tourism partnership. And so I've only been with the organization for 18 months, and I was with the Randolph County YMCA for 21 years as their director prior to making the shift to Economic Development Office. And during that time, I was just working with the Winchester Chamber and the Union City Chamber as kind of a volunteer. I was taking some classes on change and try to help them through that change process of becoming a Randolph County Area Chamber of Commerce. Got that through. They're brave. I really commend the Union City Chamber and the Winchester Chamber, because that takes a lot to dissolve something that you've been so passionate about. And so we created that entity, all excited, and then guess what happened? COVID. And so the original plan was to, for our office and myself, help Randolph County, the Randolph County Area Chamber of Commerce, become their own entity, own 501c6, et cetera. And then I started attending webinars, because that's all you could do during COVID, right?
Sure.
Is attend trainings on screen time. And I heard about these models that they had economic development and chambers combined. And I thought, how interesting is that? And so I did some research, called Mike Risham, the county commissioner. He's the president, because our office has funded that. Called Gary Friend, who's the president of the county council. And I asked both those gentlemen, what do you think of this idea? And they're like, you know what? We give you our blessing. We think you should pursue it. And really, the rest is history. And so, lo and behold, if not the very, very new Randolph County Area Chamber of Commerce Board and the Economic Development Board voted to become one entity and came up with the name Randolph County United, because that's what we want to do. We're united as three entities under one, office, one umbrella, and we hope that that's something we can accomplish in our community, that we become more united as a county. I think our kind of belief is that the better each individual community becomes, because they're each unique. I'm from the Lynn community, so the more unique Lynn can become, the better Randolph County can become. The
Absolutely.
more, growth happens here in Union City, which we're seeing so much of, the more that happens here at Union City, that it's a ripple effect across the entire county. And so how can we connect everybody in a partnership to support one another and become united in our efforts, and all kind of moving in a sane but unique direction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, everybody moving forward. Doesn't matter
Correct.
exactly which path you're
Correct.
going. Yeah, I think that's excellent. I know as a school employee and being involved in some of the different things that I get involved in, Randolph County United has been very, very helpful for us and very supportive in our initiatives. And so I know we very much appreciate that. And I see, I know you guys were involved in the ribbon cutting in Union City a couple weeks ago, or might have been a month or so ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But that's, that's huge. That's that's really unique and really neat. And so I know you guys are out doing a lot of interesting stuff. And I know I've talked to Scotty Harvey, and she's come to the Lions Club and talked. And there's lots of stuff going on. She's always got a long calendar list of what's happening in Randolph County.
Yeah, so Scotty Harvey is our Vice President of Tourism, the division, and she is just, such a passion for Randolph County, and you're right, she's out and about trying to coordinate and plan events and to get people to come into our community. And then, as you mentioned, Missy Williams, she was on the show earlier, but she's the person behind all those ribbon cuttings and planning all that. She's the Vice President of our Business and Community Development, and really kind of focuses on kind of that chamber division. And so she's out and about working with our businesses. And I know you were talking about upcoming events. One more upcoming is Thursday. I hope my calendar proves me well. August 14th, here in Union City. Missy is coordinating at 6:00 p.m. at Los Tacos for any business to come for free to provide networking opportunities and support. We're bringing in someone, Peggy Snover from Muncie, from the Small Business Association, to provide advice. And she's also got a couple that owns a business in Greenville, Ohio, that's going to come over and offer, this is what we did, don't do this, because we found that. But again, try to get, there's so many things happening in Union City, so many new businesses starting. Missy's really trying to make sure they get off on the right foot. And so she's coordinating that. So thank you for this opportunity to get the word out. So on August 14th, Blues Tacos, 6:00, come treat you to some goodies and some food, and hopefully some good words of wisdom for your new business or existing business. I know, trying to get some existing businesses from Union City as well to come and start mentoring these new businesses.
And I can imagine that's quite challenging for somebody that starts a new business. You're full of passion and excitement, and then there's potholes and things that you might not think about, and whether it's just the administration or whether it's running a business, all those pieces that can kind of get in the way of being as successful as you want to be. And so I think that would be great to have an opportunity to kind of network and see these are things you shouldn't do. Avoid these things, because we made these mistakes for you.
Correct. And I loved it. Darby Livingston, from Roots, during the ribbon cutting, him and I were kind of chatting afterwards, and he said it's the best I've ever heard it about entrepreneurs and, especially small businesses. He said, you know what? I know how to make a pizza, but I don't know how to do the business side of it. And isn't that, I mean, a lot of small businesses, entrepreneurs get into something because they love boutiques or they love clothing, you know, and they can do that, or they love to do baked goods. But then how do you get your, you know, all the taxes? How do you file it? What do you do with employee issues? I mean, there's a whole nother other side that can weigh down, and then making the pizza is not so much fun anymore, is it?
Right.
And so our office, I love to use that analogy because our office is to help you go make the pizza. Let us help give you the resources to deal with the other side of it so you can function in your expertise, but let's give you the support to do the other side of it. And so, you know, that's where you see us coming in to help organizations and businesses.
That's excellent. Like I said, I'm sure that is very challenging. We'll have to keep that up. We'll keep that up.
Yeah,
and make
please
sure we get that announced. And just some little things on my list. I know we had you had your gala.
Yes, yeah, the first ever Missy planned. It was amazing. We had hoped to have it. She had hoped, her dream was to have it outside at the new Bicentennial Plaza on the Courthouse Square. But of course, there was going to be storms and it was very windy that night. So we did move it into the Commons at Winchester School because the Winchester Jazz Band entertained us. And so that was fun. And then I spoke. Steve James was to be the keynote speaker from here in Frank Miller Lumber, President Frank Miller Lumber, but he was sick. And so I think he was sick, but I had to fill in with him and for him. But what was really the best part of the evening, of course, is the honoring those businesses. And so we started kind of a award that we gave out. And of course, the Perseverance Award we gave to, at that time, the 3 schools who were members of the organization. So Randolph Eastern and Randolph Central, Monroe Central, and had delegates there. And you know, Missy really and our, you know, board wanted to give this perseverance to the schools because, oh my goodness, well, you know, I mean, to navigate, it's already difficult, you know, being a teacher and administrator in a school, let alone throw COVID on top of it with everything else. I can't even imagine. And, you know, we felt that our schools just navigated it beautifully. And so we wanted to honor, you know, all of you. We also honored an outstanding not-for-profit business of the year, and we gave that to the Randolph County YMCA because of their 2 child cares that they navigated through COVID. The Winchester site and the Union City site, you know, again, I mean, they stayed open. They didn't have to, you know, if they could have said, you know what, it's too much, or scaled down, but they were adamant that they had essential workers who needed their care. And so they did all the extra mandates from the state to do that, to stay open. And so we wanted to award them and honor them. And then we gave an entrepreneurial award to Goliath Ag, a new business, you know, just in between Winchester and Union City. And so we were able to honor them. They make gates, so we're excited about them. Homegrown local guys starting their business.
That's great.
And then we honored 3 businesses that work all over, but based in Winchester, but that they had all joined together. They kind of was our united theme, Cobalt Civil, Apex Ag, and then Cooley Contracting, that they all worked together to replace a bridge at no cost for a city of Winchester that goes into the park. And so, you know, we thought it would be good to honor all 3 of those businesses for Outstanding Business of the Year because they all did a little part to make that happen.
That's excellent, and you know, from the school, we definitely appreciate that award, and it was challenging, but yeah, it was good, and yeah, for the childcare to stay open. I mean, they were providing service for other essential workers as well,
Correct.
and so that would have been incredibly challenging. So that's fantastic. When we look forward to seeing more of those pop up, probably an annual event. Hopefully.
Yes, it'll be an annual event. I don't know if we're doing it outside, you know, because we had to. There was a lot of changes. That was Missy. She did all the work behind that, but and then Carrie McCoy with her new business helped do all the decorations, and so that was fun. So, but yeah, it'll be an annual event.
That's excellent. And you've got, you know, with being in charge of the RCU and I guess the chamber and everything else, and I know you're heavily involved in the county's stuff, and you're kind of in a little bit of everything. I know you're involved, and so am I, in some of the broadband initiative of the county. So What can you tell us about that?
Well, I think you would agree that I think you've been, been involved in technology more than I have, but just in the 18 months, I think we're finally seeing traction.
Mm-hmm.
It finally feels like we're moving in the right direction. We're able to brag about the Randolph Eastern and what you've done, the effort that you led to build a broadband tower here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the county commissioners and county council have come in and have constructed these 3 first responders kind of communication towers across the county. There's 3 of them that kind of line up. One in Winchester around Lynn and up around the Ridgeville area. And then that will be able to have some, equipment placed on it for connectivity. And then again, the county council and the commissioners have stepped up again to use some wind farm money, windmill turbine money, to construct a tower kind of over in the farmland, Davis Purdue area. Not quite sure where that will be. And then possibly 2 more. Again, the council and the commissioners, we should be pleased that we have leaders at that level that are adamant that they want all of our school children and all of our residents to have affordable and adequate, connectivity. And so our office has been challenged through our technology committee that you serve on to lead that effort. And so we've hired Tower King, a company, to come in and manage that. None of us can manage that. So yeah. And so again, it's thankful that the commissioners and the county council said, sure, let's spend the money to hire this consulting firm. And they actually more than a consulting firm, they actually do the work.
Right.
And they have the expertise. And so we're thrilled to be able to have them on our team. And so we're starting to see things move. Another big thing to get the word out about is that we're going to be pushing out a survey through Purdue that other counties are doing in the state, because we need to see what does our residents feel is affordable. What do they deem as adequate? Every person sees that as different. And
Sure.
So we've got to get that assessment. And that's the next big thing that I'm working on. We just became a broadband ready community. So that's very exciting.
That's
Lieutenant
exciting.
Crouch awarded that just last week. And that helps us get funding. And that's the reason we did that, to try to get more funding in to help us build these towers.
And it's good, speaking from the broadband sense, we definitely saw as kind of COVID came into play from the school perspective, as lots of things moved to, well, you can work from home, you can learn from home, you can do these things with internet connectivity being that carrier for these pieces. We definitely saw some of our kids and some of our families that struggled because their connectivity was not what it needed to be. Where our typical e-learning day, okay, we can get them to grandma's, or we can handle this for a day or 2. Well, what was manageable for a day or 2 became a week or 2, a month or 2. Well, the rest of this year, or for at least our high school, every other day.
Right.
And so that connectivity became a huge piece, and we saw that need, and the county council and the county commissioners see that need not only for schools and for education, but for business development and for to bring folks to Randolph County.
Correct.
We have a lot to offer, and if you can work from anywhere, we just need to make sure that they have the connectivity they need so they can work from anywhere.
Most definitely. And I think that the idea is that, okay, all our industry's gone, how is rural communities, how are they going to rebound? Well, we really don't have to worry about that anymore, because people can work from pretty much anywhere in certain industries, not every industry, of course. And so that's why, I love that you see the initiative, Winchester and Union Cities doing these housing initiatives.
Yep.
They realize that we can, that we can bring more people here because we have a great way of life. It's an easy way, slow pace. Look at all the amenities we have, and you can boot up and, connect with colleagues across the world.
Yeah.
But work, right here in Union City or Randolph County. And so, we have to change our thinking. And I think COVID helped us. I think, a lot of people saw the necessity that, that the word is that, broadband today is to communities back in the 1900s, electricity, right? The communities who do not get electricity, we're ghost towns. We're gone.
They're not around.
And the same thing they're saying is with broadband. If the rural communities can't figure it out, you're going to be gone. This is not an option. This is not a luxury. This is a necessity, just like electricity is. Yep. And so that's why you're seeing so much funding, so much push from our office and then from the county level on these efforts.
And I think, I know I'm on this is, kind of my area, and I'm in it all the time, and I'm on the committee, but I think we got good people on there and some good expertise, and we've I think we're moving in a really good direction.
Yeah, agreed.
So, and it's exciting. It's not just a bunch of folks meeting on Zoom talking about what we have, the commissioners and the council and the county and the people that can make things happen on board for what we're trying to do. So that's definitely exciting.
Yeah. Because like you said, I mean, you know that David Lincolnstoffer, that's from here, serves on that committee from the council perspective, and Gary Gerton from the commissioner's perspective. I mean, that's how much they believe in it. They're serving on that committee. So it's nice.
And those are busy guys.
Those are busy guys.
I know the commissioners, there's 3 of them and about 30 or 40 committees they're supposed to be on and be involved in. And so it's good to have them there. And I know it's hard to make that sort of time. But yeah, so I think things are moving, and I think we'll end up having a cable chatter about the Union City broadband tower at some point. Kind of talk more about it. But it's still very much in the we're figuring things out, because this is not what any of us started working in. So we're figuring a lot of things out and seeing a lot of the hurdles that we're trying to cross. But so we also have, and I've heard on the radio, and I know from various different people in the city, and I think by the time this airs, we might be over this piece, but there's the READY grant. And so what can you tell me about the READY grant? So the READY grant has been pushed down. It was included in state budget. And so the state has allocated $500 million to give out grants. They will select, a region can get up to $50 million. And so we have elected to go into a region. There's 6 other counties with us, so a 7-county region. I'll try to pull them off of my head, and we'll see how good I am. I'll probably fail miserably, but I think there's it's Jay County, Grant County, us, Wayne County, Henry County, Blackford is in there. And there's one more. Did you say Delaware?
Delaware, thank you. And then Delaware, you saved me. So that's the 7. And so as the grant applications ended, on July 31st. And so now we're in the phase that they'll be scored, and the final applications will be due in the end of August. So I'm referring to scoring, that each county had the opportunity to push out to people to say, submit your grant applications. Any proposal for READY that really has to do about attracting people to Randolph County or to our region, developing the talent, the workers that we already have, and then kind of that retaining piece as well. And then quality of life, what amenities, trails, theaters, anything you can think, outdoor space that you can think of to attract people to live here. And so that's the purpose of it, because the reason the state's doing this is because we're a losing population. Projections are not just our county is going to lose, the entire state is projected to lose population. And so this funding is to, how do we stop that? Sure. And so that's the purpose of it. And so we won't know by the end of the year if our region was selected to win one of those $50 million, and then all of that would be dispersed. So I know the schools, putting in application. I know the county fairgrounds has a great capital project. They're submitting. Vision Corner is a great project that I know is going to be submitted. And so when I say scores, I'll be a scorer. Andy Fall from the Lynn community, he's on our board. They needed a small business rep, and he owns a small business, and so he'll be representing. We'll be the 2 scorers from Randolph County, but we'll score everybody else's applications, and that's what will be determined what goes into the overall R7 region, R7 county, and our region's application at the end of August. So I'm not sure I explained that very well. It's very convoluted. It's a fast process. I mean, this is literally in 2 months. We're supposed to put together a $50 million grant proposal. Yeah, so it's fun. Fun times had by all. Yes. lots of exciting opportunities. And things, great opportunities. Things to hear, neat ways to hear what different communities and different groups are trying to do and put together in ways that they want to keep people here. And so I'm sure it's a unique opportunity to see what a lot of people are thinking. Yeah, and I'm pleased. We did we worked really hard to get it pushed out, and we have some good applications, strong applications for our county to come in. I'll be anxious to see what the other counties submit as well. So we'll see where it goes. But grants, they're fast paced, and you don't have a lot of time. We're trying to be as thoughtful as we can to put in really good, strong proposals to make sure that we can get several accepted. So when you get all, let's say you get 30 or 40, let's say you get 30 applications. So you'll score through them, and Correct. Let's say you take the top 20 and you build a proposal Correct. That you submit to the state. This is this region's list of projects we want
to get funded.
Correct.
Okay.
You need to just come with me and say that when I try to explain ready. That was a very good summary. That's exactly what it's supposed to be, and we'll see. I mean, we have no idea. We will meet on August 5th to do that. So.
That's a lot. I know the application's fast and lots of grants. It seems like they used to be huge, page after page, hundreds of words per question. But it seems like, I know as we've moved forward in the last handful of years, they've all moved to the application's 2 pages. You have limits of 100 words, and you get 20 minutes to do it. Exactly. It almost feels like.
Most definitely.
But I'm sure that makes it easier to choose on the other side, and it's faster turnaround.
Yeah.
So. And it's definitely an exciting opportunity, and I know we'll look forward to hearing about that. Once our region compiles its list of projects and submits it, when should we expect to hear?
Probably by the end of the year, around December, and then it's up to us then to get the other funding. That's the great thing about this grant. I say that a little bit facetiously, that we get 20%, and we have it's a 1-to-4 match. So for every dollar they give us, we have to come up with another $4, and one of those $4 has to be public money. And so it's quite the match process, and so that will deter people from applying or look at that. So Ready won't give us their money until we have our match money. And so even though it gets accepted, if we don't do our work and get that much, then we still won't get the funding.
That's a pretty sizable hurdle.
Yeah, it's a very. I've been involved in the grant world for over 20 years, and I've never seen a match like this. I've never seen a 1-to-4. It's very significant. It's a big hurdle, especially for small communities.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I know, working with the city, and we talked about Vision Corner, and we'll have another episode on Vision Corner. There's lots to talk about that, and there's definitely movement. I think I talked to Steve Shoemaker the other day, and I think he said that we're hoping to get some windows installed. So maybe by the time you get a chance to see this, you'll see that front face of the building start to look even more different. I mean, we got it painted, and it looks 10 times better or 100 times better. So you'll start to see more movement, and we're in meetings to try to get this moving pretty quickly. So I think we'll see some movement on that soon, and we'll have that on and talk more about that. But that's an evolving project that's very active and very moving. And so if we could, finding some funding for the Ready for that would be great. And there's lots of neat projects, I'm sure.
There is.
In those communities, there's lots of projects that probably look a lot like Vision Corner or similarly idealed.
Correct.
So that'll be cool. And then I think the other thing we kind of talked about before we got started was the Cultivating Community Initiative. And I know I've kind of been on the outside of that, and I know our superintendent's been to a couple of those meetings, but I can't say that I fully know what that is about. So can you tell us what the Cultivating Community Initiative is?
Sure. Well, Mr. Black has been very engaged. I appreciate that. Actually, all 5 school superintendents have been engaged at those meetings. And so a little bit of history. We are working with the Indiana Community Institute, which is housed out of Ball State, and they do this work across the state and across the United States of helping communities, specifically rural communities, kind of get a direction, get a vision, and help us grow and stay prosperous. We started Economic Development Office, hired ICI in 2019 to identify what do the residents of Randolph County think are the biggest issues facing us or holding us back. And so they spent the entire year really going around to all the communities, holding town meetings, going to fairs, getting surveys. And from that work, they presented it in 2019. They said the residents of Randolph County are concerned about 5 issues. The number one issue they were concerned about was housing and blight. Both the shortage of housing stock. We don't have a lot of housing stock to either buy a new house or a newer home. And then there's a lot of blighted homes and then blighted properties. So that was a number one concern of residents they wanted somebody to address. And number 2 was a drug epidemic. I think we all know that, the national program with drugs. And then 3rd came in as the broadband infrastructure. 4th was education, and it was mixed. Education was was interesting. It was mixed from we really like our 5 small school systems, and we like the individualities and what they are able to offer us to. We're concerned that we need to support those more because they aren't able to offer all the level of classes or opportunities as a larger school would. And so it was both sides of that. And then the final one was quality of life, such as what are there to do around here?
Sure.
What is it if I live here? What can I do? And so those were 5 big things, and it was like, well, who's going to address that? Who are going to tackle those issues and start the process? And when Randolph County United board decided to become Randolph County United, they said, we will tackle those. We will lead those. And so thankfully, we're at where we're at now, thanks to the Community Foundation, received funding through Lilly for us to hire ICI again to come in and work with us, and how that process is. So we know what we're supposed to focus on, but now it's how do we even approach that, right? Those are
Sure.
pretty big things, right? So what can we do in the now to make a difference? And what do we need to do, start working on today to make a difference 10 years from now? And so that's what we're figuring out. We've had 2 of 4 public meetings. At each of those 2 meetings, we've had over 70 individuals engaged from all across the county and even outside of our county that are interested in what we're doing. The next one, I hope everybody can attend, August 19th from 5 to 8:30. We're doing this one in the evening. We do need you to call the office by August 12th to RSVP because we're providing supper. And the number is 584-3266. That's 584-3266. Just call by August 12th if you would like to attend that meeting. And we're breaking up in the groups. If whatever your interest is on those one, you might be really passionate about the drug epidemic. So you would go off in a kind of a smaller group and focus on that with a facilitator. And we are breaking it down and deciding what can we do? What are our goals today? And what are some big goals in the future that we need to tackle? And then the next meeting, the final meeting, will be September 8th. We're not sure of the time yet. And then after that, I will just be kind of coaching and helping mentor us as necessary. And then it's our turn to do the work. That we will have people in charge of whatever initiative. So if you wanted trails and that was something that boiled up to the top, that our community wants to work on a trail project, well, you're going to be on the trail community and be writing grants probably,
Right.
to do that. So we'll see where it goes, but this is huge for our community. The Bible says, without the vision, the people will perish. And, you can definitely, say that if you don't know where our county's going, we're just all going to be fumbling around doing good work, but not thoughtful, intentional, how to really, really make an impact. And I think that's what's taking us so long. We're being so thoughtful. These meetings are 3 hours long, 3.5 hours long, and then there's work being done outside those meetings. And, this is a long game. This is the marathon. This isn't the 100 dash, right? This is a marathon, and we have to see it that way. I think it's easy to get frustrated, and it's daunting, right? It's like, okay, how are we ever going to solve the drug epidemic? If I just think about that, I'm done. I'm just going to stop right there because I don't know. I don't know how to solve it. But if you just stop and start breaking it down, and start somewhere, then you're going to make a difference. If we just stop and don't do anything and complain about it it's not going to get any better. And the same thing with all those other issues. And so that's what I'm hoping. That's the big thing that I hope it will come out of Randolph County United, is that we will be able to facilitate this huge countywide movement to better our community.
Those are 5 big items, and I know those. I'm sure some of those are probably not a surprise to lots of us.
No.
But it's important that we identified those from the community itself.
Correct.
Reached out and got that information. But yeah, that's exciting that we're getting together to do this, because it's definitely not something that we can just fix overnight, or we'd have done it already.
Right. Exactly.
If it was an easy solution, we'd have already been there.
Right.
And so that's exciting that we're working on kind of tackling those big issues and things that are preventing us from being where we want to be. And having that unified vision is huge.
Correct. And we have to do it. We have to be the ones that get up and do this work. This is our community. We all love our community. And so it's time for us to do the work to help grow and prosper our community for years to come. And so this is what it's going to take.
Yep. There's always, we know folks that came before us,
Yep.
that did a lot of work for the community.
Correct.
or who are still doing it. I look at folks like Ted Leahy, or we look
Yep.
at the K.I.S.S program, John Schmidt and Rick Clear. They put a lot of time and effort into this to make it what it is now. And as far as Ted, the community and all the different grants and art projects, that's hard work. And so it's time for those of us that have come after to kind of pick that mantle up and move it forward. And so that's hard, and it's exciting work, because I think neat things are going to come.
Yeah, I think you talk about, people come before. I think about my work at the Y, and I got the privilege to know Gene and Roberta Bennett and consider them dear friends, mentors. And I'll never forget when Gene was gone, but Roberta came into the office at the Y, and she wanted to build, the statue in front of the library, the governor. And she had a dream, right? And she wasn't going to stop until she got it. And I have never forgotten that. It's like, well, this is going to be hard, but I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to do it. And we all have to have that mentality, And so I'm going to hold on to that when things get tough, and remind myself of Roberta when she was in my office and saying, we've got to figure this out. We've got to get that statue and honor this man who did so much for Union City. So, we'll see if we can't pull that off and have her spirit.
Yeah, those are great people. She was a good lady. I think she retired from her kindergarten.
I forgot. Yeah, she was
position.
A teacher. Yeah.
She was here for a long time. I think she retired my first year in kindergarten. Now, I wasn't in her class, so I didn't do it. But I'm pretty sure that was her last year, and it was a big deal. Even at that age, I remember that it was a big deal, and she was a neat lady. She
was remarkable. So was Gene.
Absolutely. That is a ton of stuff that's going on. A lot of things that you're involved in, and so you've got a lot of plates spinning, so to speak, or a lot of hats you have to wear.
Yep.
Any other things that you wanna talk about, or things you think, hey, I want to make sure people know about this?
No, I think that covers pretty much what our office, again, you've had Missy on, know what Scotty's doing. And I think the thing that we want to get out to everyone is that we're a young, organization. We've only been around for 6 months, and we want people's input and advice. That's why we're going out, and, we're actually going to, for the August 19th, we're watching your mailbox, because we've split the cost with the Community Foundation to send a front and back flyer to every resident in Randolph County about the Cultivating Community initiative, because we want people to have a voice. We want them to be engaged if they so choose. And so call our office, go to our website, Randolph County, united.org, just come. Is it org.com?
It's .com.
Thank you. You see my technical, so and sound right, .com. And, check us out, and send us an email. Tell us your thoughts and advice, and help us grow to better serve, Union City, and better serve Randolph County.
That's fantastic. I know, like I said, from the school side and our different initiatives, and we got plugged into Randolph County United to help us with the different things, the broadband tower initiative and the stuff that we've been doing. It has been an excellent experience. It's a pleasurable experience to work with Randolph County United, and the expertise and the stuff they bring has been fantastic. And so I know we appreciate it. And so if you're a small business or a business and you need some help, or you want to know what's going on in Randolph County or anything like that, just either stop up the office. That's 123 West Franklin Street, Suite 201 in Winchester. That's right on the square. You can go to randolphcountyunited.com, check them out on Facebook. You can call them at 765-584-3266. And there's just a ton of events coming up. There's a lot of stuff going on in the county. You don't have to drive outside of our borders to go find good food and find good experiences and have a good time. So again, Ceann, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it, and I know we'll have representatives from Randolph County United back to talk about all these things again and see progress and talk about all the other stuff. Once we're through September 8th, I'm sure there's going to be another list of important events that we have. So thank you again, and thanks for tuning into Cable Chatter. Hope you have a great evening.